Hey everyone, welcome to It Tastes Different Gaming Appetizers. And on this episode, we're going to talk about the Capcom Showcase 2022. I'm going to go through the list of what they announced, and then we'll go around and talk about what they announced and what we thought was interesting or not interesting or whatever. So let me go through the list here. So the first one is they showed off Resident Evil 4. They showed off some more gameplay for that. They have one major new addition that they confirmed. Leon can now move while aiming. So awesome. That's more of the, the remakes that they did for PS3 and the Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3. We can move and aim at the same time and shoot. Resident Evil 4, the original, you couldn't do that. You had to stop and aim and shoot. So now he can move around while aiming. So awesome. And it looked good. I mean, I'm excited for it. It'd be nice to play through Resident Evil 4 with the Resident Evil 2 and 3 treatment that they did with those. So I'm all excited for that. They also showed off Resident Evil Village is getting a new expansion called Winters. The Winters expansion, which includes a couple of things. The Shadow of Rose story DLC. So spoiler alert if you haven't played that game and don't know who Rose is. But basically it follows Rose, and it's an all new story beat regarding her and kind of going through her. It's not just playing as her in the main game, but it's a whole new story involving her. Based on, I think, after the end of the Village game. They also are going to add some new stuff to Mercenaries mode, where you can play as Chris Redfield, and you can also play as it was Chris Redfield, the Heisenberg. You can play as Carl Heisenberg, and then you can also play as Lady Dimitrescu. I think that's how you say her name. You can play as her in the Mercenaries mode. So that's cool. All those Lady Dimitrescu fanboys out there will have a heyday with that one. And that comes out. And it's called Additional Orders. And then also the game is getting a third person mode. So you can play as Ethan Winters in third person through the game instead of first person. And that comes out October 28th. So you get all of that with the expansion. They also talked about Resident Evil 2, 3, and 7 getting a next-gen upgrade, which did come out the day they announced it on the showcase. So you can download those now and get your Xbox Series X versions and PS5 versions, and PC also got the upgrade, which includes ray tracing and some nice visual upgrades. It looks nice. I've tried them out. It looks really nice. Also, Resident Evil Reverse will officially launch in October alongside, I believe, with the expansion that's coming out for Resident Evil Village. So yeah, everybody might be asking, what the hell is Reverse? Don't worry about it. Moving on. No, I'm just trying. Reverse is their multiplayer PvP style game where you have to play as all the classic Resident Evil characters in a PvP arena style game. And I played it back in the day because they had a little beta, and it was not fun. So we'll see what happens when it comes out. It was supposed to come out with the release of Village, and they got pushed back quite a bit because the Village is like a year old now or so. So it's supposed to come out October 28th as well with the expansion and everything. So we'll see how it does. Maybe they improved it since then, but we'll see. They also showed off Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. This is the expansion coming out to Monster Hunter Rise. We all reviewed Monster Hunter Rise, and Monster Hunter Rise was a great game. If you like the Monster Hunter series, I thought Rise was a lot of fun, and I like the new additions to it. And Sunbreak looks really good. In order to play Sunbreak, you do have to get to a certain point in the game in order to be able to play the Sunbreak inclusion. But there is a demo out there. And the demo allows you, I think, to play some of the Sunbreak stuff. And that demo did come out the day of them talking and showing off Sunbreak at this showcase. So Sunbreak looks great. I'll probably pick it up. I don't know if we were far enough in Monster Hunter Rise to get to that point, but we might have been. And then they showed off Exo Primal, the Dino Crisis, not Dino Crisis game about fighting dinos in a crisis, but it's not Dino Crisis. And where you're basically it's like a squad team thing where you're in a squad and you're fighting AI dinos and stuff like that. They also announced, they showed off a trailer for it, and they announced a closed network test coming ahead of its release. So it's releasing in 2023 on the PlayStation 5 and 4, Xbox Series S and X, Xbox One, and PC. So they did announce not too long ago that this game has nothing to do with Dino Crisis. So just get that out of the way. They did show off Street Fighter 6. I think they announced this kind of like really nothing new. They kind of showed it off a little bit and just kind of showed off more Street Fighter 6 and kind of went over that. And then the director of Dragon's Dogma came out and said, check in a couple of days for a Dragon's Dogma 10th anniversary video. And that was it. But the good news is in that video, they announced they are making Dragon's Dogma 2 as begin production or development or whatever. So awesome. I love Dragon's Dogma, so I'm super excited. I don't know how far away this is. It's probably really far away. We're probably looking at like 2024, 2025 maybe for this release, I would imagine. It sounds like they're just starting kind of. So, but that's cool. I mean, it's been 10 years and everyone, most people that play Dragon's Dogma love it. And I can't believe it's taken Capcom this long to actually do anything with it beyond the first game. Besides other stuff, they've done other things like anime. There's a Netflix anime, I think, out there or coming out to Netflix. And there's been some books and various things like that. But they're finally making a new one of those. So we're going to go around and see what everybody thought of this. Shane, how about you, buddy? What did you think of the Capcom Showcase?
First of all, Dragon's Dogma 2 has got me super excited. I love the original. Played it, beat it, bought the Dark Arisen pack, played it, beat it. I was really blown away. I think me and Nick, we were both really surprised that Capcom was able to pull off such a good RPG. So, and granted, that's 10 years plus back. So we got another 3 before the new one comes out. So probably. But it's fantastic news. If you haven't played the first one, Pat, you really should. Dark Arisen is on back and Pat, so you can definitely check it out. Graphically, it still probably holds up fairly decent because I know Pat's a graphics snob, but the game is fantastic. Give it a try. The Resident Evil 4 announcements, I'm surprised that I don't feel more excited for it. I thought I would, but I don't know. It just, maybe when I see more and whatnot, I'll be more excited, but I just really didn't get the excitement like I did for 2 and 3 remakes. And 3 was not one of my favorites at all of the originals. But I am, I'm still looking forward to it. I don't know, really wasn't blown away. The Street Fighter stuff, we've been seeing stuff on that already. I don't know. The art style seems it's not my cup of tea for the series, but doesn't mean nothing when the gameplay is that good. So, but the Resident Evil 2, 3, and 7 upgrades, I've been playing back through 2 again. So I haven't done it since the update came out. So I can't wait to check it out now. So I'm pretty excited for it because 2 and 3 and 7 are all fantastic. The Mercenaries mode for Village, we'll have to see. It could be fun. We could all run around as Lady Damascus and, show off our hoo-hoos. But, not that excited. But we'll have to see. But the DLC for it, though, playing through as Ethan's daughter could be pretty cool. Because I love the game. I mean, even Pat loved the game, and he's not a big horror guy or anything. So overall, that's pretty exciting stuff. I mean, nothing to jump through hoops about except for Dragon's Dogma 2. I have been waiting for a sequel to that thing for so long. Hopefully the pawn system is a little more updated and, you can actually jump in and play with your friends instead of them borrowing your pawns and stuff, but we'll just have to see. Pat, what about you, bud?
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to the DLC, like you said, for Resident Evil Village. I'm definitely, I like that one. I'm not the Resident Evil games are hit or miss for me, right? I'm not, I did not like the one before that one was a Biohazard or whatever they called it. I was not a fan of that one. But I like the previous ones and stuff like that, but they're very hit or miss for me. But I love The Village. So The Village was a great game. And they ended the game with The Village as a teaser to this, They show her getting in the van with the agent or whatever the person is, and you're like, okay, so they're doing something with her. So, now they're going to give you a DLC with her in it. And what was the whole Mercenaries mode? I don't remember that. That's already in the game, right?
Yeah, Mercenaries mode started in 5, if I remember right.
But what do you do in Mercenary mode?
It's like a horde mode. You got waves of enemies and you fend them off.
Did we play the horde mode in this one? Nick, did you?
I don't think this one is. I don't think that one was multiplayer.
Oh, it's not multiplayer. It's
on Village. Like the old Mercenaries was like back on the old ones, but this one was single player only because I think we were going to try it, but it was like a single player thing.
I got you. That may have been what it was. I could kind of care less about the third person mode. I really didn't miss it in this game when I played it, but I don't know. Maybe I'll load it up and see what it looks like. I don't know. Maybe it'll be good. And to be honest with you, I'm not sure I care enough about the next gen upgrades. I'm not going to go back and replay through this Resident Evil 2 remake. I did not play through Resident Evil 3 remake, so I may play that one, but I don't care about it being a next gen upgrade. And then for 7 as well, I'm not going to, are they going to give it to you for free? Is it a free upgrade or do you got to go pay for it? So it's free. Okay.
Yeah, it's free.
So I mean, I don't know. The Reverse though is going to be the multiplayer, right? I guess we're going to try that out, right? Resident Evil Reverse. We'll have to try out the multiplayer of that.
That's the multiplayer.
But it's PvP, right? It's not like, so I don't know. We'll have to see how that looks because it's a 6-player PvP. So what is that? A free for all or 3v3 or something? Who knows? I like Monster Hunter Rise. It was a good game. We should be far enough. We played the hell out of that game. I mean, we didn't. Well, I don't think did. We beat it? No, I don't think we did. But we played a lot of that game. We left Shane behind. We played so much of it, he couldn't catch back up. Yeah, my
Switch doo-dooed on me.
Yeah. So, we played quite a bit of that. Obviously, we know that Exoprimal is not Dino Crisis, but I guarantee you we're going to play it because it's a group shooter, We're going to play it. We'll let you guys know how it is, but as I said, it's not Dino Crisis, so
but it's a
Exoprimal
PvPvE.
So it's like, just think of like most games that have you tackling environmental type issues or environmental creatures and stuff like that, while also having to worry about the other players that are coming in the think of Hunt and things like that. That's PvPvE. So that's what that really is. It's just that type of gameplay. So we'll have to see what it's like. And the only thing I can remember about Street Fighter 6 was what they do to Guile's hair. He's looking at hair plugs from his butt. So I don't know. I was like, what happened to Colonel Guile's hair? And I'm like, that's all I could focus on through that whole video.
They took it from Blanca's butt.
Yeah, Blanca's butt. Electrified it first so it sticks straight up. It's all, because it's not sticking straight up neither. It's all limp. It's all like, it's like it had not.
Like he ran out of hair gel.
Hey, he's getting old, man. All right, he's getting old.
His hair is just limp now. He can't keep it up. So, that's all I could think about when I saw that commercial. I'm like, what is that? And so we'll probably play it. Oh, and these two, they're big, huge fighter game players. And when it comes out, I won't get to play with them with anything else if I don't play that. So, and as they had mentioned, I have never played Dragon's Dogma. I've looked at it, but even the Dark Arisen version of it, I'm like, it still looks too bad. It looks so bad. So I've never played it. I've heard it's a really great RPG, but because it's so dated and it looks dated, I'm like, oh God, I don't know if I want to play this. So I've never jumped on it when it was out there because it's on Xbox, right? I think I saw it on Xbox on the back.
Yeah.
Has it ever been on Game Pass? Maybe I saw it on Game Pass or maybe it's on sale and I was like, maybe. But then I never jumped at it, so I didn't get it. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to trying it. I'm not going to play
Yeah.
the first one. Probably not. I'll be honest with you. I'm probably not going to play it. 'Cause every time I look at it, I'm like, ooh, what's that? And I'm like, oh, man, that looks so bad. It looks so bad. I'm like, oh, maybe. But then I'm worried I'm going to spend money on something and it plays like freaking like dirt, you know, it plays like crap, you know, so getting my toenail hung on every little tree root or cobblestone in the street and I'll get frustrated with it. So, I mean, I will play the new one when it comes out just because it is what it is, but I never played the original. So, well, what about you, Nick? I mean, you kind of play a lot. I think you play a lot more Capcom games, a lot more than we do. I mean, obviously you both are huge Resident Evil fans, but you know, I'm not as big a Resident Evil fan as you guys are. Are you going to repick back up the next gen? Are you going to repick back up the remake 2, 3, and 7 for the next gen and try them all again? The answer is probably yes, but wow.
No, the answer is no. I did install them to look at the next gen upgrades. So yes, I've already done that. But will I play through them again? No, I played like a little bit of it, but I probably won't play through it again. I definitely will play. I definitely want to try out the DLC for Village. I definitely want to play the Shadows of Rose. That's the story DLC. I don't really care about the Mercenaries. I played the Mercenaries on Village and it's fine, but it's not something that I feel like I really want to come back to. And the third person mode, I don't really care about.
Right. And we're getting that sometime in this year, right? Like October or something?
October 28th.
Okay.
Yep. And like I said, Monster Hunter Rise. Yeah. I mean, I like Monster Hunter Rise. I thought it was a really good Monster Hunter game. So, you know, I'll probably pick up the expansion and then play through it and check out. It looks a lot of fun. I mean, the original was a lot of fun. So, I'm sure I'll play that. And hopefully we were at the spot where you can start this stuff. But if not, I'll just catch up to it. I mean, that's what we did with Monster Hunter World with Iceborne, right? You know, we caught up to where it was started and then played a ton of Iceborne. So, Exoprimal, I don't know. They have the closed network test that you can sign up for. I have gone and signed up for it. So I can maybe try it out before release. So I can see if it's worth my time. I will say this though, the trailer that they had, the gameplay trailer that they showed off during the showcase made the game look a little bit better than the first trailer that they showed off. I was a little bit more interested in it with the second trailer. So I don't know if maybe there was something additional or whatever, but I was like, doesn't look too bad. But we'll see. We'll see on that one. I mean, I'd rather have another Dino Crisis, but if this is what they want to do, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to try to turn this into some sort of live service type of thing. That's what makes me feel like with this game is they're going to turn into some sort of live service or have some sort of shop behind it for like new mech, you know, variations and stuff like that. Dinos, you could turn the dinos all pink or something. I don't know. And they could turn them into pinatas where they do the little confetti when you kill them. You know? Street Fighter 6 looks really cool. I'm happy that they've decided with Street Fighter 6 that it's going to come to all platforms and not just PlayStation. They did that with Street Fighter 5, and I'm not sure why Capcom made that decision. I'm assuming that Sony paid them for that, but you know, I would assume that agreement would have expired at some point, and then Street Fighter 6 or 5 would have came to, you know, Xbox and maybe Switch or possibly Switch and some other things, but it's always just been on there. I mean, because they even re-released it with the arcade edition or whatever, and that one still stayed on. It is on Steam, so it is on PC, but that still stayed on PlayStation. So, but I'm glad to see that. And it looks like Street Fighter 6, they have like a story mode where it's like an open world, like create your own character kind of mode. It looked like, I mean, they didn't have a created character. They had one of the new characters, Luke, but it would look like it was open world where you could go around and meet like different people. I'm not sure if that was an open world type of story type thing, or if maybe that was just a lobby, like multiplayer lobby or something like that. That was kind of like this open lobby that you can go around in. It didn't seem that way, but in the kind of the way they made it sound like is it was an open world story where you can kind of go around and then the story plays out as you go through different sections with your fighter. But I'm not 100% sure on that. I guess we'll learn more as more details come out. Resident Evil 4 looks good. Yeah, I'm with Shane. I'm not as excited for Resident Evil 4 as I was for like 2 and stuff, but I'm still excited for the game. And Resident Evil 4 is a great game, the original. So I'm excited to play through it, and I'll definitely play through it. But it hasn't garnered my excitement like the remake of 2 did, before it came out. So I'm just like, oh, cool. Yeah. I mean, really, ultimately, I wish they remade Code Veronica. So yeah, hopefully that's next. Probably not, but hopefully it is.
Yeah.
But the most exciting thing is Dragon's Dogma 2. I love Dragon's Dogma. That game is so awesome. And I don't know why it took Capcom 10 years to start making a second one. That was around the time, Capcom was making some pretty good games around then. And that one would just kind of came, I don't know, for me, it just kind of came out of left field. Like, I didn't know anything about it, and all of a sudden it was just out one day, and I was like, "I'm gonna pick this up," and instantly fell in love with the game. And then it was just like, "Oh, they're gonna milk the crap out of this." I mean, this is spectacular. Like, whoever came up with this, like, genius. That was my thought process back in the day, and then nothing, right? Then nothing. The Dark Arisen does add 1080p, so it is a higher resolution, and some quality of life changes to it. If you're going to play the game, I would suggest playing the Dark Arisen, because they do make a lot of quality of life changes that really help the game, because the original game, while it was a great game, did have some things that needed to be fixed, and they were pretty much fixed in Dark Arisen. So but yeah, I'm super looking forward to Dragon's Dogma 2, but like I said at the beginning, it's probably going to be a while before that comes out. So I just got to go back and play the original again.
Looking forward to some of that Bunny Dongo.
yeah, Monster Hunter. Looking forward to some Bunny Dongo.
Need to get some more of that going. Got to get Shane caught up, because Shane got left behind in that one.
Yeah, my Switch is running good now. Yeah, I do wish they would have went with Code Veronica, and honestly, I'm really surprised they've not done anything else with the damn Dino Crisis series, because they were popular. I mean, they made 2 fantastic ones. We don't talk about the OG Xbox one, but the first 2 were fantastic. And I think a remake, remaster, whatever they call the, Resident Evil 2 and 3, man, could you imagine what they could do with the original Dino Crisis now? I mean, it would be phenomenal. But I don't know, man. It's like the developers don't listen to what the gamers want anymore. It's like your doctors, man. They don't care what you say. They're not going to listen to you. But, I'll take a Resident Evil 4. It's a great game still, but I would have chose Code Veronica. I think a lot of people would have. And I think a lot of people would have chose Dino Crisis over Resident Evil 4, because there's how many freaking iterations of Resident Evil 4. I mean, Nick, you just had it on your damn Oculus, for God's sakes. So it's not like we can't play that game on every platform ever. It's the original Grand Theft Auto 5. It's been on everything.
I was going to say it's the original Skyrim.
Exactly. So... But, what they showed, though, it definitely has a lot of things that we're all interested in. I think the Dragon's Dogma is probably the biggest for, definitely for me and Nick. And I think if Pat would get off his graphical high horse and give Dark Arisen a try, he'd be like, you know what? I have missed this in my life. I love this. Especially when you crawl up your first troll's back, reach over his head, and you just jab your sword right into his eye. Pop that thing out like Pez.
I was wondering where you were going with that, climbing up that troll's backside. I'm like, where's Shane going with this?
You got to be careful, though. If he sits, you're going to disappear.
A lot of metaphors in that. All right. Did you guys have anything else you want to add to this? All right.
More Dino Crisis.
Yes, any Dino Crisis would be great. I mean, that's one thing too. I'll add this last thing here. There's a lot of old franchises that disappear and companies don't bring back that were very popular back in the day. I mean, and it's surprising to see what companies like Capcom and some others kind of focus on. And they don't look at their old catalogs. Like, Square Enix, especially, is them as well, have a lot of great old RPGs that they've never done anything with since they were back in the day. Capcom, same sense. I mean, they even do it with Mega Man, right? Mega Man 11 came out, and I enjoyed that, but they haven't done anything with Mega Man since. And Mega Man is a very popular franchise for them. So it's like, why don't you do anything with some of your older popular franchises that I think a lot of gamers are hoping to see come back and make a next gen appearance. Onimusha, they re-released the original. That's great, but make a new Onimusha, or revamp that one, or restart the game from the beginning. Just make a whole new one called Onimusha, but the same type of game. That'd be great. So there's a lot of great classics that I wish they would come back with, especially Capcom. For me, Lost Planet is one of my favorites. Lost Planet 2. Lost Planet 3 was okay, but I liked 1 and 2. And, that Lost Planet was not for everybody. Not a lot of, I think it had its kind of fan base, and I was part of that fan base. I love Lost Planet. So I would love to see them remake or come out with a new Lost Planet that kind of focuses more on how 1 and 2 were, not necessarily 3. 3 kind of tried to go more mainstream and today's action type of game than 1 and 2 did, because 1 and 2 had their own unique type of control scheme and gameplay mechanics. It would be nice to see them, but it's cool to see these Resident Evil titles come back in their remade fashions. But I would like to see these companies kind of bring back some of their older titles, not as remakes or remasters, but as brand new games. But those old games is coming back brand new and starting to flow through our hands again. So that'd be nice. But anyway, maybe one day, right? Let us know down in the comments below. What do you guys think of the Capcom 2022 showcase? Was there any games that really popped out in your head that hey, I can't wait to play that? Or maybe any games that you were hoping they showed off that they didn't, right? Just let us know down in the comments below. Also, make sure to like this video. Make sure to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. What are you waiting for? And hit the bell notification while you're there so you can stay up to date with new videos that we do all the time. We'll see you next time.
See ya.